I'm Monsignor Daniel McHugh. For a long time I've been wanting to come to Greece, and especially to visit the monasteries at Meteora, and of course to see places where St. Paul preached. Staying in Athens, of course, we have the Pantheon, where his famous speech about the different gods and there being only one God, everybody knows about from the Acts of the Apostles. But there's so much more, of course, than that. Here I am in Thessaloniki today, where he also preached, and I'm in front of the church where which goes back to the 700s and 800s, one of the Byzantine churches. There are a number of them here in this part of the world. And of course, as you will know, the music of the Byzantine Rite is very haunting and beautiful. In the monasteries, of course, we saw something of that the other day. And I've taken some pictures which I've put on Facebook, which I hope will become part of this vlog. Today, though, I have been in Thessaloniki, and particularly in one of the churches here where St. Paul preached, and where we have a church very much alive. I saw the preparation ceremony for the baptism, and then the baptism itself, which you will see on the vlog here, which I've recorded, both the music and the involvement of the family, and particularly the young people, something that I've always felt very strongly about as we look to evangelization and the future, the involvement of the family and of the community of the church in the sacraments being central to its life. But here in Thessaloniki, I'm before the lovely church of Hagia Sophia, going back to the 7th and 8th century. And you'll see here before you, maybe you can't see it so well, but I can, preparation going on for marriage as well today. And it is around the sacraments, particularly the sacrament of baptism and First Holy Communion and marriage, that the church is built, and that it is growing in this country and will grow elsewhere too. I hope you enjoy having a little snippet from the great pleasure I'm having in these days in Greece. Hagios Demetrios in Thessaloniki is the largest church in Greece. This church started in the 3rd century. It is the site of the imprisonment, torture and martyrdom of St. Demetrius. After a fire, it was rebuilt in 1917. The picture shows the shrine of the saint. When I visited the church, it was very busy, much alive, with visitors to the shrine and a baptism of a child, which I captured on video. On the video, you get a feeling for the Byzantine liturgy and the beautiful music. From Hagios Demetrios, I went to visit the Hagios Georgios Church in Thessaloniki, known as the Rotunda. The church goes back to the time of the Emperor Constantine and has magnificent Byzantine mosaics and frescoes. Unfortunately, it was day of closure and I couldn't get in. My visit to Meteora, where I visited 3 of the 6 Greek Orthodox monasteries clinging to the towering sandstone rocks of Meteora, was special. The first monasteries began in 985 AD with a hermit named Barnabas, who occupied one of the caves there. In 1382, the monk Athanasios from Mount Athos founded the biggest monastery, Megalo Meteoro. Today, a religious revival has seen the return of monks and nuns. It is an amazing life of those seeking to be close to God. For the millions who go there, it is a moving spiritual experience. Athens is most famous, of course, for the Parthenon temple atop the Acropolis. Particularly interesting for us is the Areopagus, which is a rocky hill just below the Parthenon. The Areopagus is where St. Paul preached to the people of Athens about the true God, referring to the altar to an unknown God in the Parthenon. Here he gained his first convert, St. Dionysius, the Areopagite. The Roman Catholic Cathedral of Athens is named after St. Dionysius, St. Paul's first convert. I went there for evening mass on Sunday the 9th of October. The church was crowded so that I had to stand, looking at the icon of St. Dionysius. The congregation was evidently from many parts of the world. Thanks to St. Paul. One of the things I noticed in Athens, and indeed in Thessaloniki too, in the churches, is how many people were lighting candles there, real candles, not electric ones. Of course, I lit one myself, praying for all people back home. And I'd like to just put these words of St. Paul from yesterday's Mass, the 28th Sunday, for your own prayer. For all things give thanks, because that is what God expects of you in Christ Jesus.